Hello, everybody. It's Jim here. Long time no see. Um, for the ones that already know me, I want to say hello. For the ones that doesn't know me, you don't miss much. Anyways, I had some time, so I decided to show to you some updates on some of the stuff that I'm working on, and yeah, let's get into it. Into that. By the way, I need to make few points. One of those is I'm a Greek, so from Greece, obviously. So if you understand, my English is a little bit broken. If you understand my English, that's good. If you don't, you know, nothing I can do about it. You can move on, essentially. Now, that's the first thing. Second thing, if you follow me, you might want to subscribe. Like doesn't really matter to me, at least. It's not the goal to become YouTuber. But you might want to subscribe because when I upload a video, because it's not like every week or every few days. I'm not consistent with that because I'm not YouTuber. I shoot a video whenever I want or I have something to say. Okay, you get a notification that hey, this guy upload a new video. You might want to watch it. Okay, totally optional, but if you want to do it just to get notified, that's good. If not, you do whatever you want to do. That's about that. I won't say to like and share. There is no point. Nobody does that. Um, and yeah, let's get into that. Now, most of you know that I trade Forex and I have created my own tools. Actually, this is the tool that I'm working on. It's not, ready yet, but it is to the point that I can actually work on, take, trades, execute some stuff. Um, yeah. Now, what is this tools and what it does? It essentially it's a risk management tool, and I mean, if you are new into forex, risk. Oh my God, the boss is yelling. If you are new into forex, you will know that risk management is the most important thing, right? So yeah, but most people don't know about that, and it's not about only how much money you risk. It is in correlation of how much money you make and in correlation about your win rate. One metric alone, it's nothing. It's bogus. Okay. Now, uh, um, let's get into that and show to you some stuff. Now, the first thing that we have here is it says calculate on off, and if I have it off, it essentially work like the native MetaTrader 5 function that essentially you could risk you know the amount that you put here. Now you might say, hey, you put 200, why it says here 100 lots? Because the platform and the broker have a limitation and say, okay, we can allow you only up to 100 lots per order. If I want to open 200, essentially I need to open two orders of 100. And of course, this is like the max capacity of the broker, which is the most reputable one, IC Markets. um, and by the way, if you don't have a good reputable broker to trade, in the description you will find a link with a broker that don't do shady stuff, doesn't make money when you lose money, pay every time on time, and actually can make it a real legitimate business, because there are shady brokers everywhere, especially those influencers. The amount of commissions they take from the fake brokers is unreliable, unbelievable. Um, so yeah, 100 lots is the max. But if I have it like that, it defeats the purpose to actually have a risk management tool, because I could have done that from the native one. Okay, now I click calculate on, and it says here 200, but it is fixed, and we have based on balance or fixed. What does it mean? Fixed, it means if I put 200, 500, 1000, $10, whatever, this is how much money it will risk. And if I have it on balance, it would be like, 1% of the balance, 2%, 5%, 0.10, 0.5, 0.01. You essentially see your balance in terms of percentage and say, okay, I made 10% this month. I made, 5% this year. And you see more stuff on the long term and on the long run. Okay, both are great. Only if it used in relate relation with calculation. Um, and the reason is because, okay, I say here I will risk 200, but it says here for lots, but which is not actually true, because this will be determined based on the stop loss. For example, if I take a trade here and I put the stop loss here, okay, that distance, and by the way, it would be a sell trade in order to have the stop loss above. Okay, that distance between here is, it will say, okay, if I go here, I will hit $200 lots, not lots, loss. Okay, and I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but someone might, starting right now and try to find some information about this. And by the way, I don't recommend to start without having some information, because everybody that, try to start without having any information, they end up losing. And this is like financial business. So yeah. Back to what I was saying, it would be the lot size, the amount of position that it would be open. It would be based on that distance. Okay. Now, how we calculate? We have here a button that says lines. I might change the name, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Okay. All what we care is about what it does, and bring here a tool, right? And now this tool looks more like in the trading view risk reward tool, okay, or similar to that. Okay? And the it has like three of those lines here, right? And the the middle one says like where it would be the order. If I will take an entry, this is where it would be the loss. Let me show. And here it would be the take profit, right? And as we can see here, it has some information. For example, it will say here buy limit. I will show to you later about that. And here it says lot size. Essentially, it calculates from that panel here, and say, okay, it will risk, 200. And it can never be, precise, because if it put 0.16, it might go here 220. So it have some, room to wiggle. For example, it might be 197, 201, but essentially it would be, in the 200 area. Now, if I move the stop loss, it still recalculate the position. Okay? It's instant. Now, good luck. Try to do that with mind, um, or with something else, because you would need to go in another website. Put, for example, okay, I want to take an entry on, 4012. Then put how much risk you want to put, 200. Where would be your stop loss for $1,006, and it will give you that lot. And then you will come here, you need to go to the native, type 0.31, then go here, right click, then buy limit. Then instantly the position is without any stop loss, so you need to come here, click 6, for example, another click modify, and do it. And good luck, try to do that. It will take forever and 1,000 clicks. You know me, I'm all about, take the best and optimize it and make it work, essentially, for our benefit. All right. Here you can calculate, and we have, give one. All right, I'm back, and here what I was saying. Good luck. Try to do that. Okay. And something very important, as you could see here, for example, the price is here. Let me show to you with here. It's here. Now we pretend the entry would be here, right? So it automatically detects, okay, based on the position, what order will be. For example, it's buy limit, which means if I open the trade, what I mean to do, if I have it like that, is if the price goes here, it will activate the order. If it goes here, I will hit the stop loss. But essentially, go here and then move up, and this is called buy limit. If I take it above, she automatically calculate, okay, it's a buy stop. Essentially, you wouldn't be able to open a buy limit above. Okay. If I want to take a sell, automatically sell stop, and if I put it up, sell limit. Okay. Something very important is we have here, one button that says place. And why I have this, which is one of the most important buttons? Well, the first reason is because I'm not a dork or geek. Now, you might say, what do I mean by that? Well, if you have a buy or sell, you might click one or the other. For example, if you actually trading, okay, and you haven't, not even once, wanted to take a buy position, and by accident you took sell position, it's a disgrace. You shouldn't even consider yourself as trader. Okay, what do I mean? If you have two buttons, okay, it accidents happen. You might hit the button more than once. Okay, here that place button, it has the buy and the sell built in, and the tool understand, because it understand, okay, it's buy limit, okay, it will hit buy. If I do this, it will take sell. Okay. In simple terms, this means execute. Look where is the stop loss and execute the trade. You know, and the tool will figure it out the rest. Okay. Now, another thing which essentially is speed, because calculate this fast. The place button, I don't need to look for, even the move to go all the way to the left to click the native thing is, I mean, this is like calculate, boom, place the order. It's that easy. Now we have here a button called R, which essentially is, instead of doing that, I might do this. Very, very cool, especially on news. Um, and yeah, that's about that. Now, let's see what else. We have here an M button, which I will talk about that a little bit later. So let's look on the top. We have some information like points, money, the actual price, and we have a P and a B. What P means, it's about partial. So if I click here, it will appear like a line and it will say, okay, if the price reaches here, it will take, the amount that I will have specified. Now here it keeps the distance, whatever I put. Let's say I put one R, which means um, my risk is 200 points, 500 points, whatever. It would be the same distance. We see here 798. We see here 798. Right? And if I move the stop loss, it moved by the same distance. Okay. And you might say, okay, what if I want to move that a little bit? Instant. Okay. What if I want another one? Let's say I take 20% here. And I can do that even after execute the trade. So it doesn't mean that I need to have it like that or whatever. I can take the trade and activate the partial later. Fix my position. I have the total freedom and flexibility. Let's say I don't want it. Right. Now, what the B stands, it stands for break even, which means if, let's say, I take a trade here and the trade reaches here, automatically the stop loss goes in my entry, so I get a risk-free, essentially, trade, and I can move it because I might have the take profit here to be my last take profit, but say, okay, when price goes here, I don't want to risk money more, so put the break even, the stop loss essentially at my entry. So if price reverse on me or news happen or whatever, okay, it would be a risk-free trade. And if I had combined that with, let's say, some partials, I might have an order goes in my way, goes here, put break even, goes a little bit, take a partial, okay, a percentage, and then goes a little bit here and then drop. Okay, even if I slip, for example, right, and it will hit break even. Plus, I would have taken, I won't lose money. Plus, I would have taken some off the table. Very, very cool way. Okay, can I move it? Yes, I can. Can I move it? Yes, I can. And if I don't want it, I don't want it. Right? Now on the bottom, we have another two buttons, which is L and XM. XM, it means it stands from X mode, which is something that I won't show to you and I'm not interested. Actually, let me remove those lines. Not interested to show to you, but is, you know, a very, 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 very powerful engine. Okay, which essentially do different calculations. Okay? All are about how much money you risk at the end of the day. Okay, but the how is important. And we have another button called L, which if I click that, essentially what it does, it lock the price, the stop loss here. Right? Let me check some of my trades, the other account. Okay. All right. Now I I have the log here, so I say okay, I want the stop loss to be here, but doesn't mean that I cannot move it. Okay. Any other type of lock, what they do is you need to click here, unlock it, do this, and then lock again. What the fuck is that? That's terrible. Okay. Now, how I have it? Let's say I want to move the lock in different place. Simply leave it, click, move, leave it, and that's it. That become the new lock. Okay. Now, by the way, what the lock does, you see here, I can move it all. But let's say this is my support area, for example, right? And I am like that. Okay. But let's say I want to take a buy where the price is, but this is my stop loss. I need to do like that, then I need to do like that. It would be disaster, especially if I'm waiting the price to come closer, because you see it move everything. Now, if I click here, look, and move it wherever I feel, you see it keep it in place. Very very cool thing. And if I move it, okay, now you might say, okay, why this is good? Because we have here something called market, for example here market, which what it does, you see, if you see it move everything with the market. So if this is my position, let's say my support, resistance, trend line, whatever order block, whatever you use, I can lock, and as the price goes further or closer, this will maintain that position, and as it comes closer, okay, it also calculate the distance. Um, here, here, see? Some really, really, really cool stuff that could be done. Now, one really cool feature now is this place button is key changer, game changer, because let's say I'm at the market here. Now, with one click, it will take a buy or sell depending where the stop loss is. But the important thing is, let's say we have news, right? I'm here, I'm attached to the market, okay? I might want to take a buy, I might want to take a sell, news go out, I'm ready, I'm seeing whatever, the numbers, I'm able to do like that, boom. Oh, the news were good, boom. So I'm, eyes on the market and ready to instant execute. By the way, you see market sell. It doesn't say sell stop. It doesn't say sell limit. Okay, and which means if I take the order and let's actually take it, okay, and I can lock that. But let's say I'm about to take a trade, boom, instantly. And it's not only that it took the trade instantly, but continue to monitor P&L. You see the lot size, the entry, the stop loss. Can I move it after the stop loss or take profit? Yes. As I move it, It will, when I drop it, it will take the stop loss and it will bring it here. And if I had kept it, oh my God, that's my luck. I would have closed at break even, but anyways, um, that's the the next thing. Now let's continue. We have the buy and the sell. We have close self-explanatory, close sells, close. Let's say you have many positions on different assets. Some buy, some sells. Let's say you're selling gold, but you might buying Bitcoin, or you might buying GBP, GPY, right? This will close, only all the sell positions across all assets. This will close everything. This will close all buys. Okay. Partial, which essentially is to take partial, how much it will take. Now, it will take whatever I put here. Okay. Now, what's the difference between this and this? This will take partial from every position. Let's say you have multiple, you have, let's say, 10 positions, not only on gold, on everything, and some position losing, some, winning, but overall, let's say you are up 1,000. Taking 20%, it will take, 20% from the total profit that you have. Okay. Όχι, κακό. Okay. Break even, what it does, it will move the break even, the stop loss to the entry. Okay. For every position that is on profit. The difference here, the break even or the partial, is that here you could say, okay, I want to have break even only on that trade or take partial only from that trade that makes me money and not from every other position, especially a new position that I just opened. So this will give you a global fast access on every trade, especially the close all. It's game changer. And this will give you access to the individual trade than actually, let's say I want to take a partial. I need to click here 2 times and say, okay, I have 0.63. I want to take 0.02. Okay, and might not be 10% of the profit. You know that it's more of a guessing game. You don't know how much you will to close, right? And here it says comment, and we can have custom comment. And by the way, we can see it here. Right click. Right. This is the normal view. Here, custom comment, and it says custom comment, and but I can have it. Let's say strategy one, strategy two. If I use a signal group, I would say, whatever, whatever, right? And by the way, if you're getting signals on Telegram, you might follow mine, or you might follow someone else. With this, when someone give you the signal, it will you could also take that signal and calculate the stop loss, the take profit that he give you, the partial that he will give you, not only on the fly, but essentially you will know how much money you will risk. It would be, you know especially if some signals say, okay, after, you know, 2 hour or 3 hour or 1 hour at break even. You could have pre-default that automatically when you follow only on execution, essentially. And by the way, as I was here, can I test? If I open a new order, it will say test. Right? Actually, let me show you. For example, I have here a trade. By the way, if I click on that middle panel, I can collapse it. Doesn't really matter. And click on. Let's say, should I take a buy? Take a sell? Yeah. First, you see custom command. See the speed? By the way, I can close it the trade from here that says close. I can close it from close all, close shells, or even from. Look at that. Well, so I can focus only on the important things that are the execution essentially. Right? And as I take in partial, also my risk becoming less and less and less. If you remember that, it was like 200, now it's 100. Okay, and even if I hit the stop loss, okay, I might have taken $100, out. So essentially, it is kind of like break even. You see how fast it takes. Imagine try to do that, and I did. And imagine to have 5, 6, 7 orders, and then you see it's here one button, and I can change that. Okay. Um, let's see if it drop. And by the way, I can move that. Doesn't matter. Now the hardest things I already have done this. The hardest things in terms of coding, which was the initial setup. Those things are very hard. Probably the hardest thing that I have ever done. And the X mode. The X mode was the most difficult thing compared to other things. For example, this was easy. Relative. It wasn't the easiest thing, but relative easy because it's something that it exists. Many tools have that. There is proper documentation, and you don't need to think outside of the box to implement that, something like that. But to do some calculations or try to figure it out the risk. I mean, without need to go into a website or the X mode, which is again different risk parameters, or to make it, you know, um, part second nature of your, you know, trading, right? Calculate. I might, for example, I'm not like I want to take. I can even change that, or if I have it based on percentage, because the account goes up and down as you're making money or lose money, it will, you know, risking more or less automatically, because let's say you have a challenge of 100k or 200k or 50k, whatever, right? And let's say you are based on percentage of balance. Let's say you have 1%, okay, which is crazy. On 100k, you're risking 1,000 a trade, but let's say you drop to 93k. Suddenly, the 1% is $930. Does that automatically for you without even need to think about it. Another thing that I'm having preparing is, if I remember, is, let me actually for if I remember, it's right. Give me 1 second. Yes. Right. Go here. Okay. I hit the stop loss. Actually, I don't even need to create some shortcuts. And I can, if it goes down, I can easily close that. And after this trade, I will show you some more. And if I want more, here. Essentially, I will have more shortcuts that will, uh, execute the order. Click the buttons, for example, the P, the B. If I click, for example, the B, I haven't put that. It will bring here the break even. If I click it again, it will bring some. That's nice. What's that? It's Monster Pants plus energy, a green one. What's that? Brazil. Like fruit pants or something. By the way, you will see here first. And you will also see here that's ready about 90%, right? Which essentially, let me show you. Actually, if I click lines, and if I click RR lock, and it's all like that, it's not ready as I said 100%. But what it does, actually, let me remove that line here, close that. That. What it does, okay, it says it automatically lock the take profit and the stop loss. So you could have a risk reward trades. For example, I only take trades 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Why? Because my strategy or my back test shows that even if I go to 1 to 20, for example, the most profitable time is up to 1 to 5. Why? Because even if I hit 20R, it would be better if I focus on 5R, because not only I hit, for example, more frequently, but the price doesn't, reverse on me that much based on the risk. And to be precise, is, for example, you might have 20R trade, but 90% of your trades go easily on 3R, and then return and hit the stop loss or break even. Okay? You will know exactly if you backtest, optimize your stuff, or essentially you have some minimums, or you could still have, let's say, 20R and have on the times that you hit more frequently to take the partial. For example, if I hit almost all the time 3 and 4R, I might have there to take partial on the 3R, and I might have a take profit on 20R. So I capitalize on stuff that I hit frequently, and on the stuff that I don't. And right now that it is closed, not closed, lock. Okay, all what it means like the TP is 6, the SL risk reward is 2, which is like 3 times, which is like the same as we say 1 to 3. If you say 1 to 3 or 2 to 6, like 2 portions of stop loss, 6 portions of take. Right? If I put here 10, it would be like 1 to 5. It's not accurate right now because I haven't finished that. Okay, but it is 90% ready. Okay. And what it does, and by the way, if I put, can I put it 10? Yes. And don't worry, by the end of the week or tomorrow, when I, for example, click that, change that, essentially I haven't put it that to follow because I'm clicking right now optimizing the distance to have it correctly that, and after that I can say okay, let's have the visual effect, because here on the shading area, okay, I don't care that there is nothing to do at this moment. It is important to fix, the values here, and the shading it would be like basically 3-4 lines of code. But uh, when I click on that, it doesn't prevent me. Or let's say I took, okay, can I click place? It's, okay, and the stop loss is here. So it doesn't like, oh, I cannot trade, they cannot prevent me, can prevent me, or I cannot test the actual functionality. And I can put show have it there. I can have it follow the price, or from here to follow the price, whatever. And here there would be another one button. This should become a little bit smaller, somewhere around here. Here we will have one more button, and probably it will say M, or M actually. And what it will do is when I click lines, boom, instead of appearing on their default, let's say, position, okay, close that, close it here, you see it's instant. What it will do is if I have it that open, okay, and I found here one bug, I will solve that. And back to what I was saying is if I have the M button here active, okay, what it will do, it will, when I click the lines button, let's say the lines instead of appearing here, it would appear here attached to the mouse. Okay, so when I click, for example, the lines button, if I have clicked them like the same way I have that R, let's say something like that, right? And I haven't put it to work with. This is not ready like 100%. Now, what it will happen when I click lines, it will be instantly here on the market, so I would be instantly ready, boom, to execute. All right? Very, very, very cool. Next, X mode I won't show to you. Talk about comment. go over to settings here, break even. I would have some default settings after 1 hour, whatever. And offset. What offset means? It means it is spread plus commission plus points above. For example, when I open a trade, obviously there is the cost of that. Some brokers have $2, $3, or $7 per lot. That order, for example, was one lot. Okay? I pay $7. There are benefits to that. Okay, but essentially, if I put the break even exactly on the price here, when it hit the break even, it's not like it won't lose money. I will have lost the commissions. What this does, it says, okay, this is how big your spread is. This is how much money you pay for that order. Okay? And if you put, let's say I won't have it on R after 1%, let's say I have it 0. Okay, just you can break even, right? It won't sit here exactly. You might say, okay, the total cost was $15, maybe here. So when it hit the stop loss, which would be break even, it won't be 0, it would be plus $15, which you lost $15 to open the trade. So essentially you won't lose anything. But if you have like R like that, 1 R, and when I put like break even, okay, it's not really an issue. I need to edit the video to hide the X mode. Doesn't matter. Okay, let me see where and yeah, I will need to put some shortcuts to hide things, parts, and I can say okay, 20% on one, say two, three, let's say 15, let's say 5, say 18, let's say 4, okay, down here. I will have boom, boom. And here now it show like how much money it will take, not money, here how much, okay, it would be 0.36, here it will close 0.07, 0.05, 0.09, 0.06, okay, that's how much money it will take. It will take that, that, okay, and as it will take that, it would update that number, because that number is if it goes straight here, not if you remove money, but I will have that. And if I don't want something, very, very cool stuff. Yeah, that would be all for today. Give me 1 second. Christo? that would be all. By the end of this week, I will have finished. I mean, where the dot, one the dot, the functionalities work. I would have finished the calculation to be precise on the RR lock. I will have finished also the shading area that essentially to not need to do that. This is literally one line of code, actually one word and a comma. Um, and let's see. Uh, and then I will have some more settings here. I'll add it. Probably everything that would be in this week. And we will add here trail, add plus plus. Then I will have 1 to 2 more tabs. Um, Something very, very important is, let's say I'm like that, okay? And let's say I change time frame. What will happen? Do I need to reset up everything? I don't remember if I have fixed that. Let me put here 10. Yeah. Essentially to remember, you know, the stuff. Okay. And of course we have, as I said, the M here. I shall write that down. But essentially those stuff, it's not like they preventing me from trading. Okay. Of course it would make it better. For example, one of the things that I did was that here is, you see when we have the panels, right? If I when I was crossing, okay, that panel going on top of that, which create the problem. That's why I test the tools. And the problem was, let's say I wanted to have a stop loss like that. By the way, let's say I wanted to have a stop loss like that. That big, 10 pips. I wasn't able to place a trade because that panel was going on top of that and hiding, the buttons essentially. Okay, but now go behind. The second thing is that when I was clicking the button somewhere around that area, so this is the button, let's say about that area here, like 1/3 on the top, it wasn't active because there were other elements, for example, that line, that shading thing, and interacted with the button. So the tool needed to understand. So wherever I click, okay, improve some performance, stuff like that. Be snappy, taking the position. The most important thing, instant execution. Not to think about it much. Calculating, you know, just the lot size, the stop loss, the price on the fly as we move. I mean, we making progress on multiple fronts. Keep in mind, I'm not a developer. I don't even know how to write a code, not a single line. Okay, and it's not like you say to AI, "Oh, do me this," and the AI magically done that. Or it's about the prompt. You put one complex prompt and the AI does this. No, it's not even close to that. I mean, I consider myself not an expert on AI, but expert on what I want to do to build for me. But you know, it's not like I'm light user. I'm hitting the daily limit and the weekly limit every single day and every single week. I mean, not the daily. We have limit on every 4 hour window, and I hit that, and I'm not a free user. Okay, through multiple AI, Grok, um, Claude, GPT-5. I mean, that's maybe the worst. What's I'm essentially really heavy user. Okay, and yeah, another good thing is the code is created unified, which means not. I mean, the ideas or the problem solving or when I hit a limit goes through one AI. For example, I might take a code from one AI, plug it into another AI, and say, hey, you know the entire project. What do you think about that? Is this the correct way of what we do so we don't have conflicts? Everything, be plug and play. Not like some car companies that, you know, taking parts from Audi and sell them as, let's say Bugatti or something like that. Uh, you know, it's good to be unified solution and the code to be consistent and clean. Um, that's that. What else? I mean, I don't have much more to say. I believe I said everything that I wanted to show to you. We took some trades and that's all. Clean up. And, awesome. That's great. That's great. That's all for today from me. See you on the next one. Cheers.